Hi, Shani.
Hi,
Um, nice to see you.
nice to see you.
I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you as we look ahead to our event at Belmond Maroma. I've been thinking a lot about how in-person networking has really shaped so many meaningful connections in my business and my life. And you're somebody who does that with so much generosity and clarity as well. And I wanted to dig into a little bit of why that matters so much. So could you just start us off? Can you maybe share a personal story of how a networking event led to a meaningful connection or opportunity in your career?
Yeah, every networking event I feel like has led to some sort of something that has impacted my career in some shape, way, or form. I think the overarching theme for myself personally is when I attend networking events, not only am I, engaging with my community, and I like to say this often, we as wedding industry professionals or creatives don't have like a 9 to 5 co-working space that we go to like traditional working
Mhm.
people. And attending networking events is our way of hanging out by the water cooler, if you will, or like, meeting our coworkers that work on a different floor or work in another building or whatever. So I think that is the best way to A, get yourself out there, B, find out what's going on in the industry, and C, and the biggest thing, which probably should have been A, is you showing up to these things shows people who you are, shows people what you stand for, shows people your personality. And then they are able, especially if you're talking to a wedding planner or a photographer and you're not a wedding planner or photographer, um, it gives those people insight on what clients would be best for you. Like
Mhm.
who would, who like they think like I've just met this person and I have this client. My client would love this person's personality. And I know for me, because I'm with my bride so much and we're talking on the phone, we're texting, we're DMing, I'm forcing them to be my best friend is really what it is. Um, I I want my brides to want to be around me. I want to be around my brides, but I also want to be around the vendors that I'm working with.
Mhm.
That is like for me, that's the icing on the cake is like when you are on an event and is friends and everybody loves working with each other, the collaboration is incredible, the trust is incredible, and I really think that the clients pick up on that when it's like, oh my gosh, you all know each other and you love working with each other. Like, this is amazing.
Well, because 99% of the time, the work you produce is going to be better, if you're all
Yeah,
getting along and yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I think
Yeah.
it just creates more enjoyment for the client. But honestly, like, let's be honest, like, we need to love what we do, like, outside of just the creative process and surrounding yourself by other people who have the same morals and values and goals and objectives just makes your job so much more fun, so much more enjoyable and exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Has there been a moment that felt like a turning point in when you were meeting other people or networking or at one of these events?
Actually, yes. I once upon a time, I think the beginning of Emergence,
Mm,
actually, it was in Nashville. It was the first Emergence that was attended by multiple people from different cities.
hmm.
One of the speakers, Jessica Sloan, who is actually a friend of mine, was talking specifically about how to connect with each other. And she said out loud, look for people who have similar morals and values as you do. And I remember her saying that. And I remember thinking, I want to work with people who say things out loud that I also want to say out loud. And something like that specifically at that time looked like the Linden Lane Co. Like I've been obsessed with them since day one. Like let's be honest, who's not obsessed with those ladies? All of them. But I remember in 2021, on their website, they had something a little blurb on their website that said a portion of their proceeds every single year went to the Black Lives Matters donation fund. And I remember thinking, holy, these are three white women in California who are out loud saying, the money that you pay me to produce your wedding, I'm going to take a little bit of it and give it back to this specific community. And for me, that was really empowering to go, okay, no, wait, I can talk about the things that are important to me out loud on social media, on my website, and it's not going to scare people away. And if it is scaring somebody away, then we're probably not going to enjoy working with each other anyway.
Yeah.
But I remember when Jessica Sloan said that, I was like, bet, I hear you. I'm gonna run with that. And I did.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so interesting. When I was talking with Matthew Winger, he was talking about how showing up as your authentic self can help
Hmm.
attract those people. So it's two ways. I think
Yeah.
like you need to look for people who share those values, but also you find them by putting them out there too.
Yep.
Um, and so I love that like that really helped you feel comfortable stepping into who you are and taking up that space as a leader.
Yeah,
Speaking of
definitely.
which, I think we've just heard from a lot of guests and even some hosts that they are wanting to move forward in the space of positioning themselves as leaders, as authorities in their niche, in their fields. And I know that that's something that you've been working on as well. Do you have any tips for them or any thoughts about how to do that at an event?
Just keep chugging along, man. I do think, especially if you are doing something that is really niche or something that a lot of other people in your industry or your, I call it flavor genre of the wedding industry, if you're doing something that not a lot of other people are offering, just keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. Keep over explaining it. If you feel like you are saying the same things over and over and over again, you probably are, but you're probably still not reaching everyone that you want to reach. I think that sometimes we often forget when we post something on social media. For me right now, I think I have something like 3,600 followers that are actual real followers. They're not paid. And every time I might check a post, there might be 300 views. It's so low. So out of those 3,600 people, the 300 people saw it, and the 300 people aren't even all planners or photographers that I want to work with. It's a huge variety. So when you're going to networking events and someone asks you, what do you do? Don't just say, oh, I'm a photographer. Oh, I'm a hair and makeup artist. Oh, I'm a florist. Dig in. I'm a multi-day destination wedding hair and makeup artist. I specifically do hair and makeup for couples that are having high level multi-day destination events, and they want someone who's going to be there as a creative director for their beauty, who's going to collaborate with their vendor team to come up with the looks that match the design, that match the fashion, that blah 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 blah. Like, go into it, talk about it, talk about how I personally, like, I'll say it, like, I stay all day. Like, I don't come do their
Mm,
hair and makeup and leave. I love to do a kickoff call. I create a whole vision board for my couples based on what they're wearing and like inspiration and all this stuff. And 99.999% of the planners that I talk to or the photographers that I talk to go, oh my God, nobody else is doing anything like that. Like, that's amazing. And then hopefully there's like a wedding that comes along or an event that comes along, and we get to work together and they get to see it in real time. And then they're
mhm.
like, okay, like, now not only are you doing all those things that you talked to me about, but also it's so much more than that. It's the
Yeah,
relationship, it's the experience, it's it's more than just this thing.
yeah.
Um, I think that you have to show up, and you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it until you are tired of talking about it, and then you have to keep talking about it. You have to keep educating, you have to keep emailing, you have to keep networking, you have to keep all the things.
Mm, yeah. Okay, so imagine that somebody is watching this right now and they are super burnt out and they just want to put it all down and run away and join the circus. What would
Mhm.
you say to them?
Um, get a therapist, first of all.
Sure.
Seriously, get a therapist. Um, Second of all, I would say, why are you burned out? Like, what is burning you out? Do you need to take less clients? Do you need to not work as many events? Do you need to raise your rates to feel more valued and like all of the work that you're doing is worth all of that? Um, are you burned out because the people that you're working with are not in alignment and you need to maybe revisit the vendors that you're networking with? Maybe you need to find a new group of friends. Maybe you need an accountability group. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different options. I mean, I at the beginning of this year was very burned out, but I also was experiencing some big life stuff. And I recognized pretty quickly that my burnout was real and it was legit, but it was also compounded with
Sure.
personal stuff that was happening.
Right.
And so I had to talk to my therapist and say, this is how I'm feeling, da 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 da. And she was like, yeah, no wonder you're feeling all of this grief and all of this stuff. And it's also a hard season. I mean, if we're being honest, the 2025 wedding year for us vendors is looking pretty crappy for some of us. Like,
Hmm.
I personally only have like 6 to 8 weddings this year right now, and they were all in May. I'm not sure how that happened. May and June. So after last weekend, I was stuck in an airport for 24 hours. Today, I feel burned out. But you know what? I don't have to work again, like in person for a while.
Hmm.
I know that I'm going to have some quality pool time. I know that I'm going to have some therapy
Hmm.
sessions. I know
Yeah.
that I have Belmond in September ITC to look forward to. I'm excited about that. Um, I think
Yeah.
having something to look forward to also
Yeah.
always gives me a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. I'm also looking forward to it because it's just like guaranteed carved out space to step back and think about some of those questions that you
Yes.
posed and think about what is causing, what are the,
Yeah.
like, what's a root,
Hmm.
and brainstorm and problem solve from there in the company of people who might understand and who might be able to
Yeah.
help as well.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
making those genuine connections and being, like you said, Matt said, who I know is so great at this, showing up authentically as
Hmm.
yourself. I think when you are attending things like this and, specifically ITC, because it is truly founded on showing up, being yourself, and making genuine connections, you know, come into it for transparency, willing to be transparent and willing to see other people being transparent about what's actually happening, their struggles, and even their wins. Like,
Mm,
all of it. Just, I think that real authentic connection is what for me gets me hyped and excited.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we know that you have a lot of connections. So what are the best ways for you to balance meeting new people versus building some of the relationships you've already built with people that you know and love?
Oh, that's a great question. I have levels of my relationship, I would say. Like, I have what I like to call, like, I Instagram flirt with people, which is like, we DM back and forth. They
Hmm.
respond to my stories, I respond to theirs. Or, maybe if I see something that makes me think of them, I will send them a DM because maybe we're not at the relationship or I have their phone number and we're texting each other all the time. Um, I think that is, beginner relationship stuff. And then you've got your friends who I Voxer with or I Marco Polo with
Hmm.
all the time, like often, like I want to see your face but we're also busy working, moms are busy working, and it's a busy season and I don't have time to sit down with for a full FaceTime. So we're Marco Poloing or Voxering back and forth. Honestly, Marco Polo and Voxer, I think are just really great tools for that.
Game
Um,
changers.
yeah, I also think, if there are people who this is a great example. So ITC Austin, I absolutely loved spending time with Devin, and also Natalie and Chelsea.
Hmm.
And Devin and I have been DMing back and forth, and we decided the other day that we just needed to hang out. But she lives in Texas, I live in Tennessee. So we made a date for a catch up phone call. Like, we're just gonna gab on the phone while she's driving for like an hour and a half on Thursday. And we're gonna catch up. And, alternatively, I love to DM people, hey, can you have a coffee date? Like, do you want to just sit and chat? And even if it's for 30 minutes or something,
Hmm.
uh, I think those, just ask. And ask for things like that with people that you do have a genuine connection with. Don't just go blindly emailing everybody asking for a coffee date. Like, Make it a genuine thing where you've really met this person in real life and you know that you're friends. Until then, though, Instagram flirt for sure.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Shani. You've offered so many really thoughtful insights, and I know that they're going to help people show up with a lot of intention and warmth.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.